What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to answer a few of the questions that I've been seeing in the comments for a little while now, and that has to do with PvP, PvE, DPS, and iframes. What are these things? Because a lot of us are not long-time MMORPG type players, so these terms for most people are not very common. And to be honest, I always kind of figured everyone knew what the heck I was talking about until I started seeing it more and more in the comments. So I wanted to touch on this one today. It's not going to be a very long video, I promise. So let's get right into it. Now, when it comes to PvP, PvP literally stands for player versus player. It is very, very simple. And in most cases, it means me versus you, live and direct. So as I am fighting you, you are fighting me. That's what it means for most games. PvP is live. However, we've tried live PvP in Marvel Future Fight. However, it did not work out very well because of connection issues, and that Marvel could just not get it to work, so they removed it. So as of right now, PvP in this game consists of these game modes right here, okay? Timeline Battle is actually the most famous version of PvP in this game. However, you're not directly fighting me anymore. Like I said, live PvP is gone. What you are doing though, you're fighting a team that was built by players just like yourself. So the characters that you're facing off against will be definitely different almost all the time. Meaning, I have the exact same team as this person, but their Thanos is most definitely going to be different from mine. Same with Quicksilver, same with the Wasp. You have people who put CTP of energy, people who put CTP of destruction, who knows what their ISO set is going to be, who knows how well they're geared, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of good and bad about PvP. You mix things up and it makes it very, very interesting because no two character is generally going to be the same, right? So that's what it is for PvP, and the same goes for stuff like Battle World, which we do not get enough of. I really would like to see Battle World more. Alliance Conquest and Alliance Tournament is the exact same thing. I would argue to say that for the most part, Alliance Battle is not a PvP game mode, because PvP generally, like I said, it's player versus player. PvE is actually player versus environment. So I feel like this Alliance Battle should be on this page, because player versus player, there are variables there. Well, like I said, the characters that you're facing off against generally will act differently. They will have different setups and all that other good stuff. Whereas PvE, the characters and the monsters and the environment will always be the same. You may see different reactions from the bosses or characters in the stage, but they were designed that way, and you may just encounter it one or two times, but generally everything in these stages are pre-programmed and they do not get changed, and they cannot be affected by other players in the game. So that's what PvE is. It is player versus environment. It is the environment that was created by the development team of whatever game you are playing, and those conditions, those reactions, and those results cannot be skewed or tampered with by any other player. So that is what PvP and PvE means. PvP, it's player versus player, and you always have to worry about how the other player set up their team and how the other characters will function. Whereas PvE, for the most part, they will always act in the manner in which they were designed to do so. So that is PvP and that is PvE. And I honestly think that Alliance Battle should be on the other page, because the Frost Beast will always act the same way. He may mix up his rotation, but that's what he was programmed to do. And you cannot affect the frost beasts and how they react. Sure, your reaction may cause a different reaction from them, but no other player can actually go in and give the frost beast a CTP of destruction and all that other good stuff like you could do for timeline battle, if you get what I mean. So that's the difference between PvP and PvE. And for those of you guys who hear me say PvE, PvP, and you're wondering what the hell is this idiot talking about, what are these acronyms, what are these abbreviations, what the hell do they mean? This is what they mean, okay? Now, when it comes to DPS and iframes, another set of terms that I use over here pretty frequently, let's talk about it. Let's actually grab a character that has a lot of iframes, Falcon. Now, when it comes to iframes, guys, iframes is a term that was created a very long time ago at the beginning of this game. And when I heard the term iframes, I gave it my own abbreviation and I gave it my own terminology. So my terminology may be different than someone else's, but when I heard iframes, I thought invincibility frames or intargetable frames, because that's what it did for me. It made it so that if I was ever getting attacked, I could easily hit an iframe skill and the enemies would stop attacking me, then making me invincible or intargetable. So that's what it means for you to hear me say something like iframes. I say them pretty often. So if you guys have been wondering what the hell they are, this is what they are. Iframes make you intargetable or invincible. However, when we came up with the term iframes, and like I said, I put my own invincibility or intargetable meaning behind it, there was no invincibility type skill or obelisk in the game yet. Now we have that in the game. So once we got that, it just came down to actually being an intargetable skill, because we already have another meaning for invincibility in the game. So now it just means intargetable. You're intargetable for the most part. 99% of the time when you use an iframe skill, you cannot be targeted unless you're up against someone like Nova or Cyclops, who can pull you out of an iframe, or rather deal damage to you while you're in the iframe. So yeah, you still got to be very careful. These things are no longer 100% safe like they used to be. Back in the day, you would do this and you would be completely safe. However, if you go up against someone like Cyclops and you hit this, he'll pull you out of it with his 3 skill by stunning you, or Nova will just straight up one-shot you, showing you that you're not safe at all. So that is an iframe. Very, very easy term to understand once you actually like see it and understand it, I guess. And you can easily tell what skill is an iframe by looking at the X that comes up if you turn on the battle UI. You always want to turn that on. It makes your life significantly easier. You never have to guess when you're in an iframe. So you should definitely go ahead and do that. And I'll show you guys how to do that in case you guys are wondering at the end of this video. Last thing I want to touch on is actually DPS, something that I say pretty frequently that you guys may be wondering about, and it has to do with damage per second. Damage in a lot of MMORPG type games is measured in seconds, because generally you don't want your fight to be taking minutes, because that's very boring, and chances are if your fight's taking minutes, you're probably going to lose. So DPS generally means damage per second. How many seconds does it take your character to do what it is you need them to do, whether it's to kill an enemy or subdue them or whatever? So that's what DPS is. Very, very simple term. Damage per second. How much damage can your character put out in 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds? That kind of deal. Okay? Very, very simple term for you guys to understand. And I'll show you guys how to turn on and off this character damage, or rather iframe UI. And yeah, I'll send you guys on your way. So you can just easily go in the settings right here, and you can literally just turn this on and off. And I'll turn it off and I'll go in here. I know she has a couple iframes, so I'll show you guys that it is actually, I should have used Falcon because, okay, so you'll see her 5 skill is actually an iframe, full iframe, but you don't see the X there. So if you're not like me and you already know that is in an iframe, you might be guessing, because now you don't have that X showing you that, hey, your character cannot be targeted at all unless the enemy has an ignore iframe effect skill, or making it so that they can hit you while you are intargetable. So I'll turn it back on, and then I'll grab her again, and then just like that, it's back up. It does more than just show you what is an iframe, but this is the most important thing. If there's one reason you should turn it on, a lot of people don't like it, and at first I didn't like it, but when it comes to newer characters and getting familiar with them, it makes it significantly easier. So if you're new to the game, please, I implore you, turn it on. It will grow on you. Believe me, it will grow on you. It's a little bit annoying to see that red X there, but it will grow on you, and it will definitely help you, especially if you are new to this game and you're wondering, how can I protect myself from damage? I keep dying and you're a scrub like me. But that's all I have to share for today, guys. Hopefully this had some useful information. I know some of you guys, well, most of you guys already knew what all of this stuff was, but I wanted to do it for the newer people who keep hitting me up in the comments asking about this, okay? So yeah, that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching. More gameplay videos on the way, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace and love. And I'm gone. X23, baby. Straight savage.